Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Fatback for Friday, the 26th of July. Yeah, I think it's the 26th of July. The agenda is yours today. You can say whatever you want, do whatever you want, comment on whatever you want, put it whatever way you want for the next 25 minutes to half an hour. Whatever you want to go with it. And I will more than happily run with it. First things first, if you're watching this on YouTube, share, subscribe. If you subscribe, you're in with a chance before 10 o'clock tonight to win a prize from Dan Designs UK and Carlton 81. Two good prizes. Get on it. Subscribe on YouTube. Tell your friends about it. Get them to subscribe. We'll build this up and we'll get better and better as we go along. If you're on Twitter and you're watching it on Periscope, hit the share broadcast button, share it onto your timeline. We get more people in and we get more opinions. Today's show is actually brought to you by Carlton, at Carlton81, and on Twitter and on the World Wide Web at goldstar.co.uk. Carlton is giving away a brilliant prize later on tonight, and his stuff is top notch, really is top notch. Mick is in, hello Mick. Force is in, hello Force. Did that lad you announced, Bruno, turn up last night? Yes, he did. We're having a bit of fun with this. This is Avi Hanser. Avi Hanser, let me put it to this right. I've had someone on to me today saying, oh, you had him on the show and he said this and he said that and he's meant to be big on YouTube and all. I don't know what Avi Hanser is on YouTube. I didn't hear of him and I didn't know of him until about 3 days ago. He made a claim about Bruno Fernandes where we were watching one of the matches, I think, one night. He stuck by that. I haven't knocked him down. He said it was going to be done after the Sporting Lisbon game. It hasn't been done, so I said, look, let's have a bit of crack. I'll give it till Monday. And if Monday comes and goes and Bruno Fernandes hasn't signed for Liverpool, we will have a bit more fun with it. I'm not going to make a laugh of Avi Hanser, nothing like that. We're just going to we're having a bit of laugh with it. Look, that's basically it. Let me see. Afternoon up to 6 times European Cup winners. Yeah, it's hard sometimes to think of like that, isn't it, with the way some people are going on. Avi Hanser is in the room. Here he is. I stand by my claim. Bruno to LFC. I won't say anything else on the matter. Fair enough. Are we agreed, Avi, that we will give it till Monday and we will come back and explore the situation again? And can you also confirm that we are just having a bit of crack with this between me and the viewers and yourself? It's, it's light-hearted. It's not, in any way kind of some sort of publicity stunt or anything like that. It's just us in here having a bit of chat about it. Can we all agree on that? Let me see. Mick says, are the team facing a hangover of too much football in the last 13 months? No, I don't think so. I think, look, we played 3 games in America. We were beaten in 2 of them. We drew in the other one. The standard of fitness has got better and better as it's gone along. It's I suppose it's a step-by-step situation. Klopp said after the game the other day he has about, I think he said something along the lines of 15 days until the season starts. He needs that. He feels like he needs that. He knew it was going to be a hard pre-season with all the players being away and back, but he's dealing with it. He obviously has a plan, so I don't think they're dealing with a hangover. It's just a step-by-step kind of process you have to make, and he's guiding us into this Norwich game. And look, I've no worries over it. Don't be worrying about it. Avi Hanser says, yes, total crack, but I stand by my claim. Like I said, never want to spout rubbish. Monday it is. Grand. Avi, that's perfect. That is all I need. I never take any ITK seriously. Well, not much, says Force. I don't take them too seriously either. Don't get me wrong, there is people out there that do have, contacts or sources or people they know within or close to the club. That's fine. I don't take them too seriously. I have a laugh at it most of the time, and Grizz included in this. Grizz I probably have the most laugh with out of everyone. So look, it's just just go with it. It's the summer. Don't get too uptight about it. Abby, I think you're a mank, says North Red. Well, if he is, he's telling us that Liverpool are signing Bruno Fernandes. So I don't know if that adds up, but we'll have to wait and see. No hangover. Just team isn't good enough without the front three, to be honest. Yeah, that's a fair point. I think the other night you're seeing glimpses of how we could play, but players still getting back into it. But the midfield looked fairly sharp. In fairness, Origi done well. Oxlade-Chamberlain was off a little bit. We had Wijnaldum was breaking well. Origi done well and got a goal. But I think the front three makes a massive, massive difference. I think the interplay will be better. We're quicker. We're more incisive. Look, it'll all come together. Don't be. There's absolutely nothing to worry about. This is a squad that last season done what it done, and you hopefully have Keita coming in good form. You have Oxlade-Chamberlain back. There is still one or two issues. It's there is one or two issues, and people like Firmino, as God said, lads, give it up. We're not signing anyone, and then somebody says, I think it's Kevin says, we will be signing Pepe in this window. Pepe thing is going back and forth all the time. Talks in Napoli, then it was off with Napoli, now it is Napoli, now they're naming 3 clubs and an unnamed club, now they're naming 4 clubs, now it's, like as Toxic Calamari says there, oh my god, 80 million for Pepe is crazy, but if it's true we're interested, then he's for sure going to us. We have 80 million if we want to spend it. It could be a case of we don't feel he's worth it for the role he's playing, for the role maybe he plays in the squad, or maybe he's not worth it, even though he could be, I don't think he'd be a starter, a regular starter. Maybe we have a price on him and we're not willing to go over that price, and the club are well within the right to do that, because if the word going around is that he's worth 55 million for argument's sake, and we go and splash, it's 80 million euros that is, so I think it's about 71 million pounds. If we go and do that, then other clubs are looking going, well, if they want their player, we can get an extra 20 million out of them. You have to be kind of cute in what you're doing. Firmino, as God said, it's obvious they're only using Liverpool to raise prices. Again, that's another angle you can come at, and it's not a bad one. They probably are, and look, is he an 80 million pound player? I'm not too sure, but if it is a way of Lille moving these prices up and naming certain clubs, they're doing it quite well, and Liverpool is the one to use probably at the moment because of the success we've had and the money we generate. But naming Arsenal in it is probably the other way, because Arsenal seem to be going around. They've loaned Cabios off Real Madrid, who was linked to us a couple of weeks ago, and they've signed some young centre back as well who claims Arsenal are the biggest club in England. He may need to get a history book out. Mick says, I think the big clubs are backing off trying to get the prices down, and agents hawking players around. Yeah, it does look like that, because I always take Manchester United as an example on this, and only because of the situation they're in. If it was, say, for argument's sake, Chelsea were able to sign players, I think Chelsea would be holding back, because they don't want to be seen that they've cut back on what they're spending on. They're taking, the spend down. But you're right in what you're saying about agents. Agents are trying to hawk these players around, and it looks like an agent might be in play here, big time for Pepe. What do you think of Klopp saying we're broke and we have no money? Did he say that? Did Klopp actually say that? If you can get me the quote where he said that, I'd be very, very interested. There's no way Liverpool have no money. Trust me. There's no way Liverpool have no money. Liverpool are in the best financial situation they have ever been in my opinion. I don't want injuries forcing us to buy. I want us to sign because we want a player. Yeah, it's a very good point. But I think you could. I know where you're coming from in that, with the likes of Klein getting injured and stuff like that. But I think, we want a player. In my opinion, we should be wanting a left back, and we should be wanting an attacking player. Are you slightly worried we are 14 days away from the start of the season and no big signings yet? No, I'm not worried. I did say if we got to the start of the season without probably the left back and an attacker, I would be concerned because of what we're relying on in backup to the front three. No, I'm not knocking down Origi and Brewster. I just think there could be a better backup where someone could challenge those front three. I don't think those two get near our squad if everyone's fit. It's just I just don't see it happen. He said we can't afford Coutinho. Says Firmino is God. We could afford Coutinho. we could afford Coutinho because we're out a lot of money for Coutinho. So I wouldn't be worrying too much about what Klopp says, especially around players and transfers and stuff. He's very cute, and let's be honest about it, he tells lies, and most good managers do, to protect themselves, their squads, their club, and stuff like that. Klopp actually said we are wealthy, but not going to just fork out over loads of money this year. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. But again, I was a little bit cynical last night. Could this be the club just putting out that, to Plumaz sort of the fans, and next year it'll be grand. It's one of those. But look, I do trust the club and what they're doing. And if we went into this next season or this coming season with the squad we have now, I am happy. I would have slight concerns, and that's allowed. You don't have to be 100%. You don't have to be 100% bang on optimistic to be and content in how you feel about things without being. And then you turn around and say, well, I don't think the season will go well. I would have slight concerns, but I'd still believe the season will go really, really, really well. Coutinho would be an expensive signing, and this summer that is not possible. Firmino, as God says. That's the quote from Klopp. Yeah, there's a couple of different things coming in. The Coutinho one, I take with a little bit of pinch of salt. They owe us money. It's as simple as that. They owe us money. If they wanted 120 million for Coutinho tomorrow, we're getting them for 60 or 70 by the looks of it. But I wouldn't be concerned over money. This is all about what Klopp thinks, what he wants to do, what way he wants to do it. I think the Neymar transfer kicks off the merry-go-round. I'm not too sure. There's a serious amount of money being spent. I think you're right in what you're saying, where it kicks off what happens to certain players at Barcelona, but I don't think it kicks off other players. Somebody asked there, did I see what Pepe's agent retweeted? No, I haven't seen it. If you can tell me what it is, by all means, go and show me and let me know what he retweeted. Fleeced is a fact of life in the market. No player is worth the money that's being touted these days. Yeah, but the way it is, like, when you look at all the sponsorship deals and things like that, like look at Mbappe. If Mbappe moves and Nike want something to happen with Mbappe will happen. Hence all the talk about Liverpool getting a sponsorship deal with Nike for their jerseys next year, and Mbappe. That's where all that rumours come about. That's because of the power of money. No players worth that money in realistic terms, but in branding terms and stuff like that, they absolutely are. I don't think this window is the right time for us to buy, says Byron. You're probably one of the first people that have just come out with that point. The window does seem a bit strange. A lot of teams seem to be in transition and not willing to take a big risk. I think the club that goes and tries to take Gareth Bale is the one that could really be a big gamble. One that may pay off, one that may not. Typical deflection tactics from Klopp on Coutinho. He doesn't want them. Yeah, Mick, you're fair enough. That's a fair point as well. I've always stood by the fact that I'd have him back tomorrow. I don't think it would happen, and one of the main reasons being is that he felt extremely hurt by the departure of Coutinho. Am I the main guy? Are you actually the main guy from Line of Duty? You're his double. Line of Duty. The copper. Oh, nothing like him, you mad. No, this is just me refusing to shave and cut my hair and stuff like that. That will all be rectified today or tomorrow. I keep saying that, but then I just don't. But I have to. I've a few important things coming up over the weekend that I need to look kind of respectable for. But thanks for asking, Murray Mint. Sell on value, always a consideration for us. Yes, absolutely. The talk of a Coutinho two-year loan puts him at 29 there, with an obligation to buy. There was talk of 80 million, and then you're looking at a 29-year-old who's probably in on a 3-year contract with you, and next thing you know, he's 32, and you're not getting 88 million. Let's be honest. There's been absolutely no sign of us signing anyone. And if you're a realist, you'll know we aren't going to sign anyone. Yeah, I would be starting to side on that sort of things. Being honest, that's Firmino with God says that. I would be starting to side with that sort of opinion, simply because we're down to 12 days, I think, until the window closes. Unless a player that, in my opinion, is on a list of about 3 to 5 players, just that list of players, comes available. If they come available, I think Klopp moves. I don't think he's going to buy for the sake of it. I think if something comes up, he will absolutely go for it. The Pepe one needs to just be ended. You know, let him sign for somebody, and that's that one out of the way. I think we're down to a list of 3 to 5 players that Klopp really considers to be worth bringing into the squad to improve it and improve it markedly. But the left back thing for me is something that needs to be looked at. That's just my opinion on it. I don't know what your opinion on it is. What are people's opinions on the left back situation? I'm on early today. Few bits to do today. I'm on tomorrow at about 6 p.m. I think. I'll be on Saturday 6 p.m. Sunday is the Fatback 4, 8:30 p.m. There will be no show on Monday. It's the first show I've missed since I started. There will be no show on Monday. It's the one I'm going to miss. It will be the only one I miss. And we will be back on Tuesday. Just to let people know that. So, but I will put it out on Twitter, and we will put it out around so people know exactly what's going on. The only thing that Firmino is God says. No, sorry, Kev. Is it? No, it's Firmino is God. It's gone there. It's on my screen. Something about the only thing I can think of. Let me see if I can find that message there for you. Kev O'Sullivan. The only thing that makes me think we buy late is the AFCON went on so late that we're waiting on a player. Yeah, it could be. Listen, any sort of opinion and theory cannot be, you know, like just ruled out of order. Anything could happen. But going on the way Klopp likes to work, it looks a bit late. It does look a bit late. We are. Not Red says we are just short, and City proved it last year. We are a great team, and we need a bit more. Got lucky in the league last year in a couple of games. We did, but we got unlucky in a few as well. You know, 97 points. You're not unlucky to put 97 points, or lucky to put 97 points on the board. Gav, ultimately, do you think we can beat City to the title this season without any squad improvement? Yes, I do. I think we would need a bit of luck with regards to injuries and suspensions, but all teams need that. I think City done very well with a kind of nearly an injured Fernandinho for the last couple of months. They drafted in Company for the last couple of months and it worked. They done very well with De Bruyne out. They had a little bit of a wobble. They lost 4 league games. We lost 1. We drew a few where we probably should have won as well. It's extremely tight between us and City. And at the end of the day, everyone marvelled at City's squad, okay, and knocked their squad, and they done us by 1 point. It's not like if we were 1 point behind with 5 to go and we had to make a couple of changes and lost the league by 10, you'd say, yeah, we need that. They marvelled at this squad that City have. But Liverpool's squad seems to be told it doesn't have the depth. Go back and have a look at the amount of players we used last season, and we did have depth. You know, I think we need to calm down just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm not knocking people for saying we need to do this. I'm agreeing with you on a couple of positions. I'm actually agreeing with you. But if you look at the squad, and you look at the squads that played there, both had a squads, both went for it, and there was 1 point in it. One squad is marvelled and hailed to the, you know, from every rooftop. One squad is knocked for not having the depth. It's a bit, you know, like Moreno and Sturridge are to leave that squad. They will be fairly regular in the squad throughout the season, although Moreno never used, Sturridge very rarely, and didn't impress me whatsoever. So Brewster for Sturridge I'm quite comfortable with. The left back needs to be done, in my opinion. And then you're relying on a couple of players coming back there that have had injuries. It could go either way, so maybe one more on top of that, just to ease them nerves a little bit. But at the end of the day, look at the league table. There was 1 point in it, you know, and it's just it's a little bit harsh to be knocking their squad while hailing another squad when there was 1 point in it. Byron says, I think Rodri will have a harsh bedding in period. City aren't good defensively, and I can't wait for other teams to realise it. Funny enough, I agree with you on that. I think when teams went at City in that middle part of the season, they got results. Leicester done it. Newcastle, although sitting back, really hit them when they could and exposed them. You know, the Champions League, Spurs exposed them. You know, although very, very tight, but Spurs scored goals against them. We went for them. Do you know what I mean? Very tight at the Etihad. You know, the kind of way. So there is chinks in their armour. They've signed Rodri. We've signed nobody. You know, they're forward planning for Fernandinho. Fair enough. You know, we obviously feel that Keita with another season under his belt can improve. Oxlade-Chamberlain coming back is a new player to this squad for this season as opposed to last. It's just whatever way you want to look at it. But I would have slight concerns. I'm not getting away from that. But I still think this squad deserves more credit than it actually gets at times. You know, the kind of way. The two players we're missing going into next season hardly played. It's the fear of injury. Yeah, it is the fear of injury. It is the fear of injury around probably Oxlade-Chamberlain and Gomez are the two that I always think of simply because of their pasts with regards to injuries. Gomez a bit more unfortunate with impact injuries. Oxlade-Chamberlain's last injury was like that, but he's had a few. We've had a few. He's had a few where it's been niggles and strains and stuff like that. North Red reckons come January we'll be burnt out. There's a long December. There's a lot of games in December. Brian reckons it'll come down to matches against them. It could do, but you'd have to hope that, you know, United gave us one good game last season at Old Trafford. Spurs gave us one good game at Anfield. I thought we were much better than them at Wembley. Arsenal gave us a good go at the Emirates and didn't at Anfield. Chelsea, we beat them at Anfield. They gave us a good game at Stamford Bridge. But then you go back and look at City. They went all out. United lay down for them. You know, Spurs in the league weren't good enough against them. Chelsea most certainly weren't. You know, at the Etihad, they beat them at Stamford Bridge, but they weren't good enough. So if other teams realise and have a go at them as much as they do at us, it gives us a little bit more of a chance, because it's being put up to us most weeks. City kind of get a little bit easier, but you're hoping that people do realise and be a little bit braver against them. If we do not strengthen, what will turn these draws into wins this season? It's a fair point. I think the draws you're probably talking about, United away, we weren't brave enough, and I think that's fair enough. I think Leicester at home, we weren't clinical enough and let them in. West Ham the same. I just think we looked tired. So you're hoping that, a Brewster makes a difference. An Oxlade-Chamberlain being in the squad makes a difference. A Keita hitting the ground running makes a difference. And then again, the three boys up front turn up, they'll make the difference. You know, the kind of way. So it all depends. It's a great argument though. I enjoyed it today. I'm 25 minutes in. I'm going to head off. I will be back with you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mark it in your calendars. No one marks stuff in calendars anymore. I don't even know why I'm saying that. Subscribe to YouTube by 10 p.m. tonight. 2 prizes to give away. We're going to pick them at random, put them on Twitter, let you know who won. And best of luck to everyone. We are 1,169 subscribers we're at. Let's see how high we can get that by 10 o'clock tonight. We put out a tweet about the competition. If you could retweet that, get more and more people involved. It's going to be picked at random. And as I said, the more people following us on Twitter, YouTube, the more opinions come in, the more arguments we can have, and the bit of crack we can have. Avi Hanser has 3 days, and then we're going to have a good chat about Bruno Fernandes. Anybody that's taking it too seriously, though, lighten up. It's pre-season, and this is a game of, it's only football, lads. I'm off. I'm gone. I'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Over now.